2020.
Holy smokes.
There you go. So let this go away and see if there's anything on the east side there.
Literally nothing?
Literally nothing.
Literally not one county?
So you asked, are there any places that the vice president is overperforming Joe Biden in 2020? So we could show you that as well. We just bring that out here. Harris overperforming in 2020.
Holy smokes.
There you go. So let this go away and see if there's anything on the east side there.
Literally nothing?
So, how you feel? I'll start. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Hollywood is in panic. Some are deleting X account, calling out Elon Musk. According to this lady, actress Christina Applegate goes on bizarre X rant telling her followers to unfollow her if they voted for Trump. Please unfollow me if you voted against female rights, against disability rights. Yeah, that unfollow me because what you did is unreal. Don't want followers like this. So here, don't. Also, after today, I will be shutting down this fan account that I have had for so many years because this is C. I don't get the point. Nobody is even talking about this again. The victory is already there. Ranting, deleting, asking people to unfollow you. Nobody cares at this time.
How you feel? I'll start. Yeah, go ahead. My takeaway is that the system works. We live in a democracy. People spoke. This is what people wanted. I vehemently disagree with the decision that Americans made, but I feel very, very hopeful that we have a democratic system in this country. We should value it. We should love it. We should protest if the situation arises that we need to protest, which I'm sure it will. And I've been through this before with Nixon. It's been very difficult. But boy, oh boy, do we have a country if we can keep it.
Yeah.
The American voter wanted to take their country back, and we will soon see what that means. There are levels of sexism and racism that clearly a lot of people in this country are willing to tolerate, which is also something that, you know, we may have woken up in the same country in a sense, but that becomes much more clear this morning. I would also say that there were conversations for over a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks about how black men weren't doing their part. Black people did their part and did everything they needed to do, including the black woman who ran. So this isn't, and going to a point that Mike Memoli had made earlier, this isn't a democratic problem per se, because it's not a problem that can be solved with a campaign. These are deep-rooted issues in our country that we absolutely need to address.
Holy shit. Yes, I'm devoting few days just to cover this murder from these people. I understand they will recover with time, but it is extremely difficult at this time. A lot of people are anticipating, waiting to see reactions coming from the view. What I saw is what I expected. So they are not handling this well. They don't just want to believe that Kamala did not win. And at the same time, they did not realize that they caused all this. If you have been following these people, you realize Kamala had an interview where Sonny Austin asked questions like comparing the two administrations if there will be a difference. Kamala made a mistake, like the administrations will be the same like hers. That response stir up a lot of reactions on social media, backlash. People trash her. People change their minds that single day. That is to clearly tells you the minds people have when issues like this are rising. And it's important. I show you some of these videos. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that. Buckle up for more good clips like this. You'll be laughing every single day.
No, I'm profoundly disturbed. I think if you look at the New York Times this morning, the headline was America makes a perilous choice. I think that in 2016, we didn't know what we would get from a Trump administration, but we know now. And we know now that he will have almost unfettered power. And so I worry Not about myself, actually. I don't worry about my station in life. I worry about the working class. I worry about my mother, a retired teacher. I worry about our elderly and their Social Security and their Medicare. I worry about my children's future, especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have. And I remember my father telling me many, many years ago that I was the first person in his family to enjoy full civil rights. And now I have less civil rights than I had when he told me that. So again, I'm profoundly disturbed that the 14th Amendment of the Constitution did not prevent someone who participated in an insurrection from becoming president of the United States. I think that going forward, the convicted felon box on employment applications better be taken off, because if you can be the president of the United States, then you should not be prevented from employment in this country, because I remember applying for my jobs as a federal prosecutor, and there was a box for convicted felons.
Well,
and so that box better be taken off. And I think our healthcare system is now at risk. I think
no fluoride for anyone.
Yeah, economists have made clear that he's going to increase the debt by $7.75 trillion. I'm worried about mass deportation and internment camps, and I'm also worried about Elon Musk warning Americans to prepare for temporary hardship. I'm surprised at the result, but I'm not surprised. As a woman of color, I was so hopeful that a mixed-race woman married to a Jewish guy could be elected president of this country. And I think that it had nothing to do with policy. I think this was a referendum of cultural resentment in this country.
Well, I think it has to do with a lot of things, that being one of them. I'm obviously very disappointed. I'm very sad. I was at the Kamala Harris headquarters yesterday in Washington.
Yes, I'm extremely angry when I see this lady doing this every single day. Not everything revolves around race. She cannot actually give a political commentary without linking things like this. Kamala did not win. Acknowledge that and move on. Yeah. Struggling to say, oh, it's because of this color, this. It is crazy to me. Don't call people's. This race issue has not worked for a very long time. I don't know if she realized that continuing to do this every day is bringing more problems to the Democrat Party. They think it's a good idea when they sit like this, oh, try to, I said biracial. That is the most ridiculous thing. I don't want to hear when I talk with someone, every misunderstanding you take up and link to race. It is insane. The only person that struggled to push back when she said this was Alisa. I really wish if she can continue with that, though she has been crazy throughout this show. But now Trump won, she's struggling to change her tone.
I just say, Rev, really quickly, too. Democrats need to be mature, and they need to be honest. And they need to say, yes, there's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men. It's misogyny from Hispanic men.
Right.
It's misogyny from black men, things we've all been talking about, who do not want a woman leading them. Might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman as president of the United States. You know, the Democratic Party, I've always found when you're sitting around talking, they love to just sort of balkanize everybody into these separate groups and say, oh, white people don't like women and black people. No, it is time for the Democrats to say, okay, and you and I have talked about this before, a lot of Hispanic voters have problems with black candidates.
Right.
A lot
and
of,
with other Hispanics. You've got some that don't like each other. And some of the most misogynist things I've heard going on this Get Out the Vote tour came from black men. I mean, misogynist things. So you're absolutely right. It's not simplistic. And we've got to have real honest conversations about it.
Look at the people. This is actually funny. When I see these people talking about identity politics, the same people who push this every day, they are the same people now talking because they continue to lose everything because of this. It is not working. If you want to succeed, keep identity politics aside, MMBC play a greater role. We have joinery that's, in fact, it's every single day. The View is doing the same thing. If these people don't adjust, a lot of people will continue to tilt away from the Democrat Party.
I'm so proud of her.
America failed women.
But we know now.
Definition of protection
without Trump over it.
Throw a birthday party.
Hey, you're calling yourself.
If you are
What he does at age 71.
Take the white eye.
It's just about working class people.
Can I just add one other thing? To focus on not putting in place.
Iowa calls for